Hello there, Ralph Covert here. Welcome to Water Dog. Welcome to my songwriting class. Today I want to talk about rhyming, and I've been looking forward to this one. This is going to be fun. So, I wrote a song, a Ralph's World song called The Rhyming Circus. And I knew it was the Rhyming Circus, so it had to be like all about rhyming. And I wanted to like jam as many different kind of rhymes into it as possible. So I'm going to dig into what I did and use this as a vehicle for explaining a lot of the tools that you have, a lot of the types of rhymes and the ways that you can rhyme words. And it's a really fun song, so I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. So, the common use of a rhyme that people commonly think of is a rhyme at the end of a line. And that's great, those are fine. And there's a couple different types of those. You can have a rhyme that's a perfect rhyme, like say, cat and mat. It's a perfect at sound. So that's what's called a perfect rhyme. But you can also have what are called near rhymes, approximate rhymes, and you can use them. They're equally fine to use. You don't always have words that rhyme perfectly. So, for instance, cat and had. Now, those in context are going to sound fine to the listener. They're going to rhyme fine, but they're not perfect rhymes. They're near rhymes. So cat and had would be an example of that. Now, those are both examples of what are called masculine rhymes. Masculine rhymes are kind of one-syllable rhymes. Rhymes that have a multi-syllable parallel structure are what are called feminine rhymes. I don't know who labeled them masculine and feminine. It seems kind of stupid to me, but that's what the technical term for it is. A feminine rhyme might be like mention and attention. So there's the ension. That's with two. They could be with three. Gallery and salary would be a three-syllable feminine rhyme. So allery, gallery, salary. Again, to review there, you've got exact rhymes, you've got approximate or near rhymes, you've got masculine and feminine rhymes. Another kind of rhyme that I call a professional rhyme, I'm not sure if there's really a name for it, rhymes where you really, they're not obvious rhymes. You might like rhyme the end of one word with the beginning of another word. For instance, well, the one I'm going to do in the song here is frogs from Saugatuck. So the sog part of Saugatuck rhymes with frog, but you would never say that frog and Saugatuck rhyme unless you can place the word. Saugatuck doesn't rhyme with frog, but it does if you use it right. So that's what I call a professional rhyme, where you're creating a rhyme that doesn't exist by how you place the words in the syllables. And they're fun to do. They can be really helpful and really useful. And then another kind of a rhyme is that I think of as a rhyme is alliteration. Alliteration is when the first letter of a word lines up with the next word. And so if you think of rhyme in the term that it's kind of creating expectation and creating sounds that are regular, that telegraph to the reader what's happening, then you can see how by starting words with the same letter, that's a kind of rhyme. So tic-tac tonight, the T's are acting as a sound that ties those words together. So tic-tac tonight, even though there's no rhymes in that phrase, there's a reflected sound pattern that works like a rhyme. So alliteration I think of as a kind of rhyme. And then in addition to rhymes that happen at the end of a line, you can have internal rhymes. You can place words inside of a line so that maybe the middle of the line rhymes with the end, or maybe there's a rhyme that happens 2/3 and 1/3 the way into a rhyme. So you can build rhymes inside of a line and across lines as well. And again, these are all just tools you have, different places you can rhyme, ways you can rhyme. And then the final rhyme is what I call a telegraphed rhyme, or a trick rhyme, where sometimes you make the listener think you're going to rhyme a word, and then you don't rhyme it. So you play with their expectation. The oldest one in the book on this might be, little Johnny saw a dump truck. He looked at it and said, "I don't give a hoot." So you're not expecting hoot because you think something's going to rhyme with truck. I did this in one of the songs from the musical 100 Dresses I wrote with Gary Mills. There's a song, and the last line of it is an example of that kind of a telegraphed rhyme. So the song starts kind of a nursery playground chant, skip rope type song. So it's a knick, knack, penny, patty, whack. My brother told a lie and he wouldn't take it back. Skip, a rope, a dilly-dally dope. Mother's gonna wash his mouth with soap. Then it goes like onward through the song, gets to the end of the song. 10 commandments teach us well. Tell a lie and go to hello, Mr. Elevator Operator. Knick, knack, a penny, patty, whack. My brother told a lie and he wouldn't take it back. So you see how I use the payoff of the hello and turn that rhyme into a non-rhyme. And that would lead me to the final kind of rhyme that you have that you can use in your songs is not rhyming. Not rhyming is a kind of rhyme, and it's a tool that you can use when you're writing your lyrics. So don't forget that. All right, onward to the Rhyming Circus. I knew when I came up with that song title that I was going to have a blast, because my goal, as soon as I came up with it, was the song had to be all about as many crazy types of rhymes as I could come up with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk through the way I use the rhymes, and then I'll play the song for you, and you can kind of hear them in context. So I started with, in the first verse, just trying to jam in as many simple, perfect rhymes as I could. So my first verse is bats in hats, wearing suits and spats. So in that first line, there's a couple things going on. There's bats, hats, and spats. So there's some perfect rhymes there. There's also an example of alliteration here. So the suits and spats, you've got the words that are starting with the same letter. Now, I'm going to play that same rhyming word throughout the whole first verse. So bats and hats, wearing suits and spats, and cats on mats. What do you think of that? Fats the rat, juggling some gnats. So you'll notice I'm also doing some near rhymes, because I've got the fats has an S and rat doesn't. So these are approximate rhymes, okay? And then the tagline, they're all stars in the Rhyming Circus, doesn't rhyme with anything, but it's the title of the song, so it's okay. Next verse, second verse, starts with more of kind of the same thing. You'll notice some alliteration, you'll notice some perfect rhymes, you'll notice some near rhymes or approximate rhymes, and you'll also notice the first professional rhyme I put in. This is the one I told you before with Saugatuck. So the second verse, dogs in clogs, riding Harley hogs. So there's your H, Harley. On logs from bogs through artificial fog, with frogs from Saugatuck who love to jog. They're all stars in the Rhyming Circus. Once again, no rhyme at the end. Now, the song now moves to the B section, which has a feminine rhyme in it, and it's got some internal rhymes. So here comes the master of ceremonies. He runs faster than a pony. So that's an interesting line. There's a line in the middle, a word in the middle that rhymes with a word in the middle of the second line. So, and then there's a word at the end that rhymes at the end of the second line. So it's kind of a double parallel rhyme. If you want to come up with a new term, parallel rhymes. And then the last line, he's a jester tester and a phony baloney. So you've got a pair of internally rhyming word pairs. Cool stuff. Coming to the third verse, birds who heard lots of silly words and pigs. On the third verse, I changed it up because in the first two verses, I rhymed the same word all the way through. In the third verse, I changed it so that each line had its own little internal enjambment of rhyming words. And I do a pretty fun professional rhyme you'll hear as well. That's a real stretch, but was fun. So, birds who heard lots of silly words, and pigs who dig while they dance a jig. Nothing very fancy there, pretty basic. While the woolly mammoth eats a sandwich. So obviously, other than being just a hilarious image, mammoth and sandwich is a great near rhyme. I would say qualifies as a professional rhyme. The C section goes to kind of an announcer voice, and it's a very, there's a lot of crisscrossing rhymes happening in this. The couplet is, ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention to the center ring. So it doesn't sound like there's really a rhyme going on. I'm proud to mention that the cow will now sing something. So that first line just doesn't have anything rhyming and kind of stands there as a dartboard. And then in the second line, I throw all kinds of crazy crisscrossing rhymes at it. So mention and attention, and then cow and now in the middle, and then I pay off ring with something at the end. So there's a kind of a zigzaggy rhyme, an internal rhyme, and a straight old AA rhyming couplet to wrap it all up. Now, this announcer has just introduced this singing cow, and I wanted to do with the cow, since cows can only say moo, I wanted to have the cow sing the song as only a cow could. So every word, or virtually every word, of the section the cow sings rhymes with moo, because that's what a cow would say. So the D section, I guess you'd call it, the cow section. New blue moon, true to you. Who knew through and through you do, blue moon? So every word in the line rhymes. Every word in the whole stanza rhymes because a cow is singing it. And then the last verse, more fun and games. At this point, I was just giddy with my rhyming fun. Fish who wish they'd never seen a dish, while they squish a mixture of a picture. So I've got two professional rhymes where the squish and mix and picture, I'm playing off that ish rhyme from fish, wish, dish, squish, mix. So it's not pure, it's approximate, and then mixture of a picture. So really playing with the sounds on that of Lillian Gish and her little sister. So they're approximate rhymes, they're professional rhymes, they're playful rhymes, and it's kind of playing with your ear in a very Dr. Seuss sort of rhyming way. Dr. Seuss was great at rhymes. You want to go to a master of fun rhyming, just read some Dr. Seuss books. He's great. And then then I played some games with the very last couple lines with where I placed the rhymes. So there's 4 lines at the end. Thank you for coming to the Rhyming Circus. Your ears are humming from the Rhyming Circus. You can hear your timing in the Rhyming Circus O. I'll play an internal rhyme, and then I threw that weird O there. What's that all about? Well, the last line, we'd like to thank you for coming, which repeats back the rhyme from coming and humming earlier, to the Rhyming Circus show. So the whole song, that's kind of a surprise, kind of an Easter egg rhyme, because the whole song, we've been ending each line with Rhyming Circus, Rhyming Circus, Rhyming Circus. And at the very last line of the song, I set up a rhyme kind of sneakily so that there's an Easter egg rhyme of Rhyming Circus show, a rhyme appearing at the very end of the song that you were not expecting because of what happened earlier in the song. It's a lot of rhymes, but fun. I'm singing the song in context. So much more fun to hear it sung than to hear me recite the words, but I thought it was helpful to kind of break it down. So this time, as I play it, see if you can listen more as a experiential way, how the rhymes kind of affect your enjoyment of the song. I know that you've kind of been given the inside look at where they are. So here we go. Thanks for watching. Happy songwriting, and happy writing and no more fighting. Here we go. Rhyme to wrap things up. Here we have the Rhyming Circus. Hope you enjoy it. Bats in hats, wearing suits and spats, and cats on mats. What do you think of that? Bats, the rat, juggling some gnats. They're all stars in the rhyming circus. Dogs in clogs, riding Harley hogs on logs from bogs through artificial fog, with frogs from Saugatuck who love to jog. They're all stars in the rhyming circus. Here comes the master of ceremonies. He runs faster than a pony. He's a jester, tester, and a phony baloney. Birds who heard lots of silly words, and pigs who dig while they dance a jig, while the woolly mammoth eats a sandwich. They're all stars in the rhyming circus. Ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention to the center ring. I'm proud to mention that the cow will now sing something. New blue moon, true to you, who knew through and through you do. Fish who wish they'd never seen a dish, while they squish a mixture of a picture of Lily and Gish and her little sister. Thank you for coming to the rhyming circus. Your ears are humming from the rhyming circus. You can hear your timing in the rhyming circus. Oh, we'd like to thank you for coming to the Rhyming Circus show. Thanks so much. Happy writing. Metal